The rain had been falling since dawn, a steady rhythm against the glass walls of the towering Hensley Enterprises building. Inside, warmth, luxury, and gold reflected from every corner. The empire of Clara Hensley, a billionaire heiress who had inherited her father's company at just 26. Her world was made of designer suits, private jets, and boardrooms filled with applause. But beyond the glass, the city looked different, darker, colder, and far more real. That difference would soon change her life forever. As Clara waited for her driver in the marble courtyard, she noticed movement through the sheets of rain. Under a leafless tree, a man sat on the wet pavement, hunched over a small metal lunchbox. His uniform clung to his body, drenched completely. It was the janitor, one of the invisible faces who cleaned the company's floors every night. He was eating quietly, his trembling hands struggling to hold the spoon steady. Raindrops slid into his food, yet he didn't stop. Clara frowned, puzzled and uneasy. She turned to her assistant, asking, "Why is he out there?" Her assistant barely looked up. "He's just one of the janitors, ma'am. They usually eat outside." Clara didn't reply, but something in her heart tightened. That night, as thunder rolled over the city, Clara sat by her window, her mind replaying the image, the soaked man, the trembling hands, the silence in the storm. She had everything, yet she couldn't stop thinking about someone who had nothing. The next morning, she came to the office earlier than usual. The rain had softened to a drizzle, and there he was again, the same janitor, sitting beneath the same tree, eating from the same lunchbox. Only this time, his hands looked weaker, his face pale. Clara slowly walked toward him, holding an umbrella. When she spoke, her voice was soft. "Why are you eating out here? You'll get sick." The man froze, startled. He quickly stood up, bowing slightly. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said, avoiding her eyes. I don't want to disturb anyone inside." Clara frowned. "Disturb? It's your lunch break." The man hesitated, then spoke again, his voice heavy. "A while back, some staff complained that the janitor's clothes smell like detergent. After that, I stopped going inside. It's better this way." He smiled faintly, but the pain behind that smile hit Clara harder than she expected. She stood silent as rain dripped from her umbrella. The man nodded politely and returned to his meal. She wanted to say something, anything, but the words never came. That evening, Clara couldn't focus on meetings or business calls. Every decision felt meaningless compared to what she had seen. Who was this man? What kind of life did he go home to after cleaning her empire? Her curiosity turned into a quiet ache. The next day, she asked her HR manager about him. "His name's Mr. Samuel Brooks," the manager replied. "He's been here for 15 years, never missed a day, lost his wife a few years ago, works double shifts to support his daughter's schooling. He's a good man, but keeps to himself." Clara listened in silence. 15 years, and she had never noticed him. That night, she did something she had never done before. She followed him after work. Her car kept a slow distance as she watched him pedal his old bicycle through narrow streets. He finally stopped at a small broken building, a community shelter. Through the cracked window, she saw him greet a group of children with laughter, handing them food from his own lunchbox. They ran to him, calling his name, hugging his legs. He wasn't just a janitor. He was feeding orphans, sharing what little he had left. Clara's breath caught in her chest. The man who had nothing gave everything. She felt tears slip down her face, hidden in the shadows of her car. The next morning, Clara arrived early once more, but this time, she didn't just watch. She walked up to him with determination. "Mr. Brooks," she said softly, "you've been serving this company for 15 years. From today, you'll no longer eat outside." He looked confused, trying to protest, but she handed him an envelope. Inside was a letter, a promotion to head of maintenance, a salary raise, and a scholarship fund for his daughter. His eyes filled with tears as he stammered, "Ma'am, I don't deserve this." Clara smiled gently. "You deserve much more. You've shown me what wealth really means." In the days that followed, something beautiful changed inside Hensley Enterprises. The walls that had once separated executives and janitors began to fade. Staff started sharing meals, laughter echoed in the halls, and even Clara's boardroom meetings felt warmer. She began visiting the shelter too, donating funds, playing with the children, helping them study. The rain no longer felt cold to her. It reminded her of the moment she had first seen what compassion looked like. Years later, at a charity gala, Clara stood beside a young woman in a doctor's coat, Samuel's daughter, who had just graduated with honors. As the audience applauded, Clara smiled with tears in her eyes. Samuel, now gray-haired, stood proudly nearby, his hands clasped in gratitude. "You changed our lives, ma'am," he whispered. Clara shook her head softly. "No, Mr. Brooks, you changed mine." And as the rain began to fall again that night, she looked toward the city skyline, the same city where she once saw a man eating in the storm. Only this time, she understood. True wealth wasn't written in bank accounts or business titles. It was written in moments of kindness, the kind that could warm even the coldest rain.